Alright, so we're going to go over the features of our tea brewing system. Alright, so we got a 75-gallon tank. This right here is your heat sensor. So down at the bottom of that tube is the little heat sensor to tell what the temperature of the water. That's our propeller down there. Drain. Those are the heat coils. So hot water comes in this one and comes back out this one, or vice versa. So these will get hot, and this circulates the water around, and then the processed water absorbs the heat. This is the mixer, and we have a switch here, and just on and off, and you don't have to give it. There we go. Settles down after the bubbles get out. So there she's mixing, and that's that switch right there. Turn her off. So then we have over here, we have the drain. So you can hook this up to go into your bottling. So you just very simply, open that up, close it up. That's a 1-inch pipe. So it drains pretty darn fast. This is the hand brake. You pull this up and it puts the brakes on so you can't roll it around. Down is off. So that's just the hand brake operation. Alright, so we have the thermostat right here, the electronics. And we have a breaker for the electronics. And when you first start up, this is what you want to do. You want to make sure the breaker's off. Okay, very important. Because you have to make sure that you're full of water before you start. So, this is our water tank right here with a heater core in it. This is a standard hot water heater, and I'm sending you an extra one. Then we go down into the pump. Now this pump has a timer on it. But we're not using the timer function, just always on. Leave it always on. And this is the drain for the hot water. Okay? So if you need to let hot water out or change it or whatever, that's your drain. Now, again, this is the heater element in here. This is the fill tube. So if you run this out of water or run it low on water, you'll burn out the element. Okay? So you got to make sure you always have water in it. So what I do, this is a spit tube, all right, also a steam tube. You never want to plug this up because this lets pressure off the tank because it's boiling water in there. So what I do is I get my funnel, put it in there, and we make sure we fill it up until it comes out the spit tube. We're already full. Now, that tube will spit until it reaches the right height in the tank. So if it spits here and there, that's just normal. But you always want to make sure when you start out that, one, you have no air in your lines, and that your pump system's totally full. Just fill it till it spits. Now we have the cap for the tube. Now it has a hole in it, which is an auxiliary pressure relief. So it may spit a little bit there once you just first start up. But never plug that up and never plug this up. Alright, now the operation is we're plugged into 220 volt single phase, and remember we're off here. Okay, very important when your initial startup. You want to turn the pump on right there. That turns this pump on. And what we're doing is we're making sure that all the air is out of the system. So you let this run for a few minutes. No heat's on because that breaker's off. But we're pumping water. And if you have any questions, once you start pumping and make sure all the air is out. You can hear it, can't you? You just keep adding water to make sure the air is out until it comes out the spit tube. See, we're pumping, it's not coming out. Alright? So, we already know we're full of water. So you're letting your pump for a minute to ensure everything's out. Now you only have to do this, you know, anytime you change the level in this water or change it or first start up in a while. Just kind of a safety thing. You don't want no air. Alright, so we're here and we've got our pump running. We've got our pump on. Now, we can turn our pump off, and if we flip on that breaker, now, when we turn the pump on, it's going to turn the heat on, okay? Here we turn our pump on, and with that breaker on, it turns our thermostat on. It takes a second. Alright, so thermostat's on, and I don't know if you can read it. It says our tank water is 77 degrees. Okay, that's not our heat water here, that's our T is 77 degrees. So, what we can do is we can go in here and hit set twice. We're in Fahrenheit. Our heater's set at 64, so we can increase our heat. We're just going to go to 100 right now. Let's go to 140, shoot, why not? So at 140, when the tank temperature reaches 140, it'll click off. Alright, we got 10 degree differential, so when it goes down to 130, it'll kick back on and take it back up to 140. You can adjust this up or down, you know, if you want a 5 degree differential. Got it at 10 degree, so we set that. H1 is heat. If you change that to C1, that's cool. We want heat. And we're on, and our heater just kicked on. So our pump's running, our heater's running. Alright, so we're got the pump on, we got the breaker on, and our current temperature in our tank is 77 degrees according to this. And I took it with my thermometer and it matched. Alright, so we're calibrated. We've got the set point temperature at 140 in the tank, and we're cooking. Now, until it finds its equilibrium, it's going to spit a little bit. That's normal. But once it finds its equilibrium in the tank here, and the pressure is equalized, it's not going to spit no more. So it's looking pretty good. Other than that, of course I'm going to close it up and put the beauty cover in there, the safety cover. You shouldn't have to do nothing just from day-to-day operation other than making sure that you're full of water. Because, you know, a little bit will evaporate out. And then all you've got to do day-to-day, flip that switch on for your, you know, turn everything on, flip that switch on for your stir. But just remember, if you ever have to do anything with the water and empty that tank, you need to flip this breaker off so that you can purge the air out. That's very important, because if not, if you run that element with no water in there or low on water, you can burn the element up. And changing the element is real simple. You know, make sure you're totally disconnected from the power. Take this cover off. There's 4 bolts in there for the element. The element lifts out, and you put the other one in. Attach the wires. There's only 2 wires. Let's say there's a ground, red, and a black, I think. It doesn't matter where the red or the black go on the element. Either screw, doesn't matter. And then your ground, you don't have to take off. It's permanently affixed right here. And if something ever happens, you just change that out. Now, if, say you have a catastrophe and this water gets dirty or contaminated or whatever, you can take this loose here. This is a junction. You can take that loose, and then you can take it loose right here, and this tank will come off. Okay, it's not really mounted to anything. So you can take this tank off and clean it out. Let's say you do blow an element and it puts some metal in the tank. Well, then you can take it out and wash it out, put it back in. And then this, like I said, this will drain. If you want, just drain it. And let's see, what else? Pretty simple. Pretty simple design. So you can tell this is starting to get hot. So, you know, you don't want to, it'll get up to probably 150, 160 degrees on this tank right here. Let's see what our process did. Hey, we raised the degree already. So, we'll time it, see how it does. Oh, and here's, she's running about 18.4 amps on the heater. We've got a 20 amp breaker right there. So we're running about 18.4. Beauty plate in. It just keeps anyone from getting back, touching them wires back there. And back here, I put instructions and manual to the temperature controller and to the pump, which just always leave it on. But it's got the programming instructions, which are really simple. And we're up to 86 degrees real quick here. And you see, this is stop spitting. We got a nice heat going on here. Now, if this is blowing out, like, I mean blowing out or spurting or steam coming out, shut it off. Something went wrong, okay? This is just supposed to spit a little bit, you know, when you first start up, and then every once in a while it might spit, but it's keeping that water level. We're trying to keep the water level up in this tube so that it's got full coverage inside the tank. So, you know, it's going to be somewhere in here. And it may blow a bubble once in a while, but it's been running for 10 minutes and nothing's been coming out for about 10 minutes.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.